everyone, welcome back. Here we are with the third battle of the Pokèsports League. In this league, so far I'm 2-0. I think I actually lost the audio of last game because unfortunately my mic was not turned on. But so far we went to 3 games in our first one against Chris P. In our second, we went ahead and got the 2-0 win against Mocha. And here we are getting ready to play FXR 005. So I'm going to go ahead and start to match with them. And yeah, I'm excited to jump into this battle. If y'all are enjoying this content, again, go ahead and click subscribe if you want to continue to get this content in your feeds. Also, if you want to go ahead and leave a like so that we can increase the visibility of this specific post, that would be really incredible, and I'd appreciate it. My question of the day. So my question of the day is, what is y'all's favorite Trick Room sweeper? We're getting ready to play a team that's pretty hard Trick Room. So I'm curious to hear what y'all's favorite Trick Room sweeper is. Give me 1 sec while I grab the code from my opponent. Looks like it's pretty easy. 2020 2020. So we're gonna go ahead and start the search here. Letting my opponent know good luck, have fun. Yep, there we go. Alright, double battle. Alright, so this, my opponent's team has a Torkoal that's worrying me quite a bit. Our team is quite Torkoal weak. If they identify that, then we're in for a little bit of an issue here. But good luck, have fun to my opponent, FXR 005. We're going to do what we can. Hopefully have some fun here. Continue to be using our Scarfall Creamy team. That's obviously, Scarfall Creamy is not going to be super great in this battle. So we'll see kind of how this goes. Yeah, what I'm thinking, how do I want to lead into this? This is, I've probably theoried this the least out of all of my other matchups, mostly because I know it's a pretty bad matchup. I think we have one game that we can give in this league, so we'll see if we can't come up with something here if our opponent does, go for the Indeedee Hatterene lead. I really would love a different way of dealing with Trick Room. That's one of the main issues of this team is like we're Trick Room weak, which is I think a bad call overall. This team was not in its complete form when we decided to go ahead and build it for this league, but oh, I guess I will be deciding the rules. All right, here we go. Ranked Battle Series 5. I guess they did not probably have those rules. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead here and let the battle begin. I might have accidentally clicked X there on change rules. If I did, sorry about that, FXR 005. So here we go. We're gonna give this a shot. We'll see what we can do, given everything. As we can see, they have a Mudsdale, Hatterene, Conkeldurr, Gastrodon, Torkoal, and Porygon 2. Given this team lead, wait, they don't have Indeedee. This is different than the sheet I was looking at. They don't have Indeedee. Oh my gosh, they don't have Indeedee. Okay, here we go. We're actually in a really good position. I misprepared. They don't have Indeedee. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lead Excadrill, Urshifu, and then in the back we're going to have our Gyarados, and finally our Amoonguss feels like the best bring here. But yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Got someone texting me. So we're really free to go Excadrill or Urshifu. And we can actually go ahead and shut down Trick Room in this case. A close combat and a close combat just does so much into that P2. I completely misprepared for this team. I'm going to pull up my damage calc because now Porygon 2 feels like a more likely answer. So let's go with this set. We do Dynamax 35 to 41. That should be enough with close combat. So they go Mudsdale Hatterene as their lead. So what we're going to do here is we're actually just going to go ahead and Wicked Blow and Steel Spike to guarantee the KO on that Hatterene. We're going to shut down Trick Room. They're more than likely going to max and go for a Quake with that Mudsdale. So, given that, we just max Steel Spike the Hatterene. And we go for a Wicked Blow into the Hatterene as well. Our opponent has to know that this is going to be a difficult spot for them to go ahead and pick up damage. So what I'm hoping for is maybe a switch into Porygon 2. Yeah, so we do see that that this switches out. For Torkoal, okay. We're going to get big damage on Torkoal. I'm alright with that. Torkoal is the hardest member for this team to deal with. We're going to get a Steel Spike boost here, where our opponent will be doing less damage from that Mudsdale if it opts to Dynamax, and the Wicked Blow crit should still be enough to get enough damage to where I'm not going to be threatened by this Torkoal's Eruption next turn, because there's no way I'm letting it go for an Eruption. Presumably my opponent's trying to switch around and position where they don't end up they don't end up where Hatterene can't Dynamax or can't get Trick Room off. So we do see the Mudsdale goes ahead and Dynamaxes in this case, which I think is probably their best play, but I think they're about to learn it's not going to be quite good enough after this Steel Spike boost. So Sun is up, but I'm pretty alright with that. We're going to get the Wicked Blow off here. Depending on what they actually end up targeting, yeah, so we're obviously not going to go ahead and KO this Torkoal, right? We are going to do a pretty decent chunk. Yeah, it's down within max Quake range, which a Hatterene would also go down to max Quake. And presumably will actually, if they go for the max Quake, they go for a max Knuckle, which is great for us. Oh, into Urshifu, not as great for us as I would have liked. They do go ahead and break our Sash there. If they'd gone for the max Knuckle into Excadrill, I would have really liked our positioning. But because they didn't, let's see, do they have a flying type? The max Quake is such an obvious, but they don't have anything that can take a max Quake, honestly. So we're going to go for max Quake. And we're actually going to go ahead and switch in the Gyarados to get an Intimidate off. In this case, Gyarados isn't as needed for our positioning in terms of changing the weather. Originally, I was preparing for Indeedee Hatterene, which I don't know. I was looking at the wrong team sheet, clearly. And Indeedee Hatterene is a really rough matchup for us. We're going to go ahead and get this Intimidate. It's going to bring that Mudsdale back down, and we will be at +1 with our Excadrill. It's a really good play of not going into the Excadrill last turn, because my opponent now, didn't give me a position where a +2 max Steel Spike would have been enough to KO that Torkoal. I probably wouldn't have risked it, because I really want this Torkoal gone, because once this Torkoal's gone, I fear my opponent quite a bit less. So they're going to go for the max Quake here. They're back to neutral. It's going to do, like 40%, but it's going to proc our weakness policy. So now we're in this really, really strong positioning where we have weakness policy procced on Excadrill. And we also are going to be in a position, they're going to bring in their Hatterene here, and we're just going to double the Hatterene so that they can't get, they're actually going to bring in Conkeldurr. Interesting. This is an interesting positioning. Given this, my Amoonguss should eat whatever I decide that I really want to go for. Really protecting Urshifu is the name of the game right now. A max Steel Spike into Conkeldurr gets us quite a bit. They are going to take out the Mudsdale, which might position them for being able to go for a late game Trick Room, right? So what I think we're going to do here is we are going to go ahead and go for the max Steel Spike into Conkeldurr, and we're going to go ahead and switch into Amoonguss, because Amoonguss is going to be able to eat more or less whatever our opponent throws at us. I do have to worry about the Mach Punch next turn. Okay, so no Mach Punches come out. They're presumably going for a Drain Punch here. We're enough to KO that Conkeldurr with a Max Steel Spike. The +2 boost really helping us out. We've positioned ourselves in such a way where this this Mudsdale is going to go for its Max Knuckle to try and get back to +1. That's not going to be enough to KO. We are very free to go ahead and take out this Hatterene next turn with something as simple as an Iron Head into Sludge Bomb. And then, in the final turn, we are really, really well set up for a Urshifu, where we're really set up for Urshifu to go ahead and take out this Mudsdale. We haven't hit this Mudsdale yet, so we don't know if it's Stamina. Presumably on a team like this, it really looks like it wants to be Stamina. They can go ahead and take us down here, but they're going to have to deal with this. So this will be enough to take out Hatterene, even if it's Sash. And if it's not Sash, we'll see. I guess we'll figure out the item here, which will be good information for Game 3. They might forfeit to preserve that information, but if they're Sash, then this kind of tells me exactly what they are for Game 2, I should say, not Game 3. Yeah. So, repositioning for Game 2. Our Excadrill Urshifu lead looks really good again, and we see it is, in fact, the Focus Sash. I think that they're counting on maybe a Spore here. And we just go for the Sludge Bomb. We double in, and the last thing that we have to deal with is this Mudsdale. It's currently at, so it's going for body presses, so an Intimidate doesn't really help us a ton. We know that our Amoonguss outspeeds it in outside of Trick Room, which is good information for Game 3. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and get a Gyarados in. Urshifu will clean up in the back with Wicked Blow, but I want to go ahead and preserve, and we'll just go ahead and go for a Spore Waterfall play here, so maybe we can scout some information. Maybe this is a weakness policy Mudsdale. If I had to guess, it was probably an Assault Vest, but we're about to find out that information real quick. Oh, our Waterfall is also not going to be doing very much here, because the sun is up, so let's go ahead and see what our opponent goes for. We get the Waterfall, and they are Stamina Mudsdale, so that's good information for Game 2. And we get the Spore off. So what I might be pretty afraid of for my opponent Game 2 is going to be a Hatterene Torkoal lead, because they could lead Hatterene Torkoal and go for Trick Room and Eruption. So if they do that, what is my counterplay? We're in a pretty rough spot if they do that. So, yeah, it looks like we crit right there. Oh no, even at the +1 stage of defense, it just did so much more because we were outside of the sun. So, alright, that gives us Game 1. Good game to FXR 005. So let's go ahead and see here what we can do in terms of a Game 2. I'm scared of Hatterene Torkoal as a lead. I'm trying to think how I outplay that. So there, what we do is probably just Wicked Blow Iron Head again. If they go for an Eruption and switch into Mudsdale, that would be a really good play by them. So let's see. It feels like that's the play that they have to do in order to go ahead and guarantee. It becomes a 50-50 though in that case, which I feel like they're not going to want to mess around with that 50-50. We do know that our Mudsdale, we do know that our Amoonguss is faster than their Mudsdale, so that's information that's good for Game 2. So we do have to be really careful about this. This lead deters a Porygon 2 because we can KO Porygon 2 100% of the time with this lead. Yeah, let's see. How do we handle that Torkoal? I think the best way to handle the Torkoal is going to be Gyarados, and we don't max the Excadrill, but instead we go ahead and we just go ahead and eat one Eruption, and then we use Gyarados to sweep in the back alongside a Moongus, which together I feel like that's a really strong positioning. I'm trying to think how they might punish this. Obviously, having a Storm Drain Mon is not the best for Gyarados. They can actually deter us from going for a Max Geyser. They can block that, which would throw a huge wrench in our strategy if our opponent, opts not to bring Conkeldurr. Yeah, if they don't bring Conkeldurr, though, they're not going to knock out Urshifu. We'll deny Trick Room, and if that's the case, then all we do is we keep Urshifu in case Mudsdale is, in fact, the last one, and we max Gyarados. We'll have denied Trick Room. Okay, I almost ran out of time there. I need to be a little bit more careful when I'm commentating. If y'all watch any of my streams, I actually lost a game because I ran out of time. I ran out of my time, the game was a long game. But, yeah. So, here we go, Game 2. Good luck to FXR 005. Let's see what the leads are. See if it's what I thought. Oh, it's Conkeldurr, Porygon 2. This is great for us. Okay. So, we're going to be able to deny Trick Room right off the bat. So I'm trying to think of, let me double check my calc real quick on this. Urshifu, custom set into Porygon 2. We are not Dynamaxed. Close combat does that much, and then Excadrill, custom set. Yeah. This is the play that we kind of have to do. This is actually going to be a little bit close. We're going to go for Max Quake into close combat. Yeah, so this play I'm not as sure on. I don't actually know exactly how much this does, but I think that we have the ability to go ahead and stop it. If we'd led Gyarados, we could have taunted, but that's not the case in this matchup, and I'm not sure if y'all can hear my dog barking in the background, but she seems to be not happy with something. Let's see what's going on here. They max their Conkeldurr turn 1. Okay, so, Ice Punch, they could just be going for a Max Knuckle. So we don't have to be afraid of a Dynamax positioning where they have the Mudsdale Dynamaxing. That's kind of nice. They go for the Ally Switch. Smart play. So we get no damage off into P2 this turn. We go for the Close Combat. Not really doing enough there. They should go for the Max Knuckle into Urshifu. We're going to get a Max Quake into this, though, which is some good damage. Not really, though. Let's be honest. That's not great damage. But they're about to learn... Actually, I don't know if they're going to learn our item here. They probably won't. Max Lightning into the Urshifu. They were expecting the Intimidate there. So... if they Ally Switch and Max Lightning again, we're in a bad spot. We can't actually deny Trick Room. Alright, so we now know that they are, in fact, Guts Conkeldurr. So, against Conkeldurr, let's see. We need both of these attacks to go into Urshifu. I mean, into the Porygon 2. So, this is also not my Excadrill. Which Excadrill is this? We are gonna... Oh, I know which Excadrill that is. Alright, we're gonna have to make this call just right. And we're gonna have to get you into you. If they go for the Ally Switch again, well played. And it looks like they did not go for the Ally Switch, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up hopefully just enough damage here on this P2 to where we can go ahead and eliminate it. We are going to lose our Urshifu here, presumably, but I will make that trade. We're +2 in terms of special defense, which doesn't help us a ton, but we are going to be at... We'll be able to bring in something else here. Max Knuckle is going to go into that Urshifu. Oh, into the Excadrill. That's enough to KO me. not what I expected because I didn't get a Steel Spike boost. So really well played from my opponent there. That does quite a bit of damage, and it's gonna be a pain for me to come back from this. They're gonna be taking that burn chip here. Let's see. We can't put it to sleep both because of electric terrain and the fact that they're already burned. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get the Intimidate down on Gyarados right here. I expect probably a Torkoal in the back. And yeah, there we go. There's Torkoal. Yeah, I think my opponent might win this. I don't know a way through this core. Let me take a minute to think about this really hard, because we can get some big damage and lose our... We're going to make them pick between taking our Shifu and... yeah, so what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fly into the Conkeldurr to avoid a turn of damage. And then we're just going to go for Wicked Blow. We know that this does about 50%. So we're going to try and cut down on its effectiveness. How many more turns left are there of electric terrain? 3. I think I got that in. We'll see, though. So we're going to go ahead and get the Wicked Blow off. Getting some damage in. Oh, that was... So we must have... That looks like a low roll. We're going to get the bounce off. If we have enough for the rest of this game, that's the real question. I was not expecting a +1 max Knuckle. So yeah, alright, that's good. Gyarados avoids, obviously. This should be enough to pick us up. We have kind of paper-thin defenses. My guess is that they are Detect, so I'm expecting a Detect here. So what we need to do is... we can't put anything to sleep. So I think my best course of action is going to be Rage Powdering. In case of a miss. So I think if I can go for the Rage Powder here, then that's probably my best positioning. Okay, they're going to switch out their Conkeldurr for Mudsdale. All right, this is not great for me. We get the Rage Powder off, completely worthless. The Heat Wave is going to do a whole lot of damage. The bounce does surprisingly a lot, and we get the paralysis. That's a lucky move for us right there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend like that was not lucky. So they're gonna go for the Heat Wave here. Yeah, that does a lot to our Moongus. So here, what we can do. Let's see. Our best course of action, how many more turns of electric terrain are there? There's 1 turn left of electric terrain. So I think it's a super safe double protect here. And then we can go for Spore next turn on what we think is the kind of most, is our biggest threat. So we could go for a Waterfall. Yeah, Earth Power is what the Torkoal is opting to go for. Not going to mess around with those misses. And then Rock Slide coming out from that Mudsdale. So, electric terrain is now gone. We have the ability to put some things to sleep. That Mudsdale is at +1 defense. What I think I want to do here is we're going to go ahead and try and do our best to avoid this Rock Slide. I think it's very obvious to... I think it's just too obvious of a play that they're going to switch that out now that I can Spore. But I think it's our best play. Yeah, it's like, all right, do we read this or not? I'm going to cover. If they stay in and go for the Heat Wave, then we can... Okay. So we actually end up super safe. We're going to go for the Spore. Put the Torkoal to sleep. and let's see what comes about from, it's going to be a high horsepower here. Good play by my opponent. That's enough to pick up the KO on Amoonguss. So we weren't able to put everything to sleep, but we were able to put Torkoal to sleep, which I don't think was enough. I covered for this with basically it could have been Conkeldurr coming in here. Looks like they go ahead and stay in. They're just going to go for a Rock Slide. We pick up the KO on Torkoal. We get the crit. I don't think that mattered from there. They had no boosts. We get a full para on the Mudsdale. That's huge. The Sunlight is now faded. But it's all going to come down to whether or not that Conkeldurr has Protect. And you know what? I think without the Sun, we should have just enough here to go ahead and pick up a KO using Waterfall. We have to we're going to have to get lucky here for the way this to play out. They go for the Mach Punch, good play, knowing that they're probably not going to be getting any damage off. We go ahead and pick up the KO with Waterfall. Let's see what happens with the Mudsdale. A miss. Oh, double back-to-back full paralysis. That's really unfortunate for my opponent. I think from here I just win. So we got really lucky with both hitting both of our bounces, getting a full para onto the Mudsdale, and then getting back-to-back turns where they threaten a knockout with a para, full para. So now we're going for Waterfall into, yeah, +1. That's going to be enough to go ahead and wrap it up. Really good games from my opponent. Sorry about the double full para. That's really rough. But really well played. I loved your adjustment in the second game, and yeah, awesome games there to FXR005. So thanks everyone for coming out. This was our third game. We are now 3-0 in this league, with our total match record being 6-1. That puts us in a decent position going forward to where we will be able to go ahead and we need to win. I think I would love to go ahead and win out. We have 2 more sets of best of 3 against opponents. I think there's 6 total teams, so we have 2 more sets. And then that would put us into the league for next week, which is the kind of top cut single elimination. So again, thanks everyone for coming out. I hope y'all enjoyed this best of 3 where we continue to feature the team where I've nicknamed it Excadrill is Cake. So this, if y'all enjoyed it, please leave a like. It really helps out. Don't forget about the question of the day. Who's your favorite Trick Room sweeper? And if y'all want to make sure you keep getting all my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks, y'all, and have a great rest of your day.